Let me ask you something. Imagine you're sitting with your younger self, maybe the 21-year-old version of you, still in college, surviving on 3,000 rupees a month pocket money, eating Maggie 3 nights a week, and dreaming about the day you'd finally have a real salary. And then you tell that version of you, hey, one day you're going to earn 50,000 rupees a month. What does that 21-year-old do? They probably lose their mind. That's the dream, right? That's the number that felt like arrival. Like once you hit that, life is sorted. You'd be eating out whenever you want, maybe buying that gadget without flinching, saving comfortably, feeling free. Fast forward to today. Millions of Indians earn exactly that, 50,000 rupees a month or more. And yet, if you ask them how they feel about money, they'll tell you they're struggling, they'll say it's just not enough, they'll tell you they don't know where the money goes. And here's the wildest part. They're not lying. The money genuinely feels like it disappears. The account balance drops faster than they expect every single month like clockwork. So what is actually happening here? Because 50,000 rupees a month is 6 lakh rupees a year. That puts you solidly in the top 10 to 15% of income earners in this country. By pure numbers, you are doing better than the vast majority of Indians. And yet, it doesn't feel that way. This video is about why, and trust me, once you understand the real reason, you'll never think about money the same way again. Most people, when they feel like their salary isn't enough, immediately jump to one conclusion. I need a raise. And sure, earning more never hurts, but here's the thing nobody talks about. The people who got that raise, many of them feel exactly the same way 6 months later. The problem didn't go away, it just moved to a higher number. Someone who earned 30,000 rupees wanted 50,000. When they got 50,000, they wanted 80,000. Now at 80,000, they're eyeing 1.2 lakhs. It's like a finish line that keeps moving. You're running hard, but you never actually arrive anywhere. So the common belief is, if I just earned more, I'd be fine. But the data tells a different story. Studies on life satisfaction and income show that beyond a certain threshold, more money stops making people feel significantly better. What actually drives that feeling of not enough isn't the number on your payslip. It's a combination of forces, economic, psychological, and social, that are working on you quietly every single month. And until you name these forces, they will control you. Let's name them. Force number 1. Inflation is stealing from you silently. Let's start with the most boring sounding one, because it's actually the most brutal. Inflation. You've heard the word, but let me show you what it actually means in your life. In 2015, a decent meal at a casual restaurant in a Tier 1 Indian city might have cost you 150 to 200 rupees. Today, that same meal is 350 to 500 rupees. Your auto ride that used to cost 60 rupees now costs 120 rupees. Your monthly grocery bill has quietly crept up. Your electricity bill has gone up. The school fee for your child, if you have one, has definitely gone up. Now here's the question. Did your salary go up by the same percentage? For most salaried Indians, a good hike is 8 to 10% per year, but food inflation in India has regularly run at 6 to 8% in recent years, and in categories like vegetables and everyday essentials, it has spiked much higher. So even if you got a raise, in real terms, meaning what your money can actually buy, you may have barely moved, or in some years, you actually went backwards. This is what economists call real income versus nominal income. Your nominal income is the number on your payslip. Your real income is what that number can actually purchase. Think of it this way. Imagine you're on a treadmill. The treadmill is inflation. You're walking, that's your salary hike. If the treadmill speed matches your walking pace, you stay in the same spot. If inflation runs faster than your raise, you're actually sliding backwards even while walking forward. That's the silent theft most people never feel until they wonder why life feels more expensive than it used to. Force number 2, lifestyle inflation, the sneaky upgrade trap. Now here's the psychological one, and this one is almost entirely self-inflicted, but don't feel bad because it's hardwired in human behavior. It's called lifestyle inflation, or in psychology, it has a fancier name, hedonic adaptation. Here's how it works. When you were earning 25,000 rupees, you took the bus or a shared auto. You bought clothes during sale season. Your phone was a mid-range one you'd used for 3 years. You cooked at home most days. Then your salary jumped to 50,000 rupees. Suddenly, you start taking Uber more often. You upgrade your phone because you deserve it. You start ordering from Swiggy 4 times a week instead of once. You move to a slightly bigger flat with higher rent. You start buying things at full price instead of waiting for sales. None of these are bad decisions individually, but collectively, they did something devastating to your finances. They made your expenses grow almost as fast as your income. And here's the psychological trap. The moment you upgrade your life, that upgrade becomes your new normal. Within 3 to 6 months, you don't feel the pleasure of the upgrade anymore. The Uber doesn't feel like a luxury, it just feels like just how you travel. The better plat doesn't feel special, it just feels like home. This is hedonic adaptation. Humans return to a baseline level of happiness very quickly after positive changes. The joy of the upgrade fades, but the cost of the upgrade remains. So your expenses are now permanently higher, but your satisfaction is back to where it was. And that gap between what you spend and what you feel creates a constant sense of I need more. It's not greed, it's biology. Force number 3, the comparison economy. Instagram did something to your brain. This one is perhaps the most uniquely modern force, and it might be the most powerful of all. Humans have always compared themselves to others. That's nothing new. In a village, you compared yourself to your neighbors. In a town, to your colleagues. The reference group was always small and mostly similar to you. But now your reference group is infinite, and it's curated to show you only the highlights. Your college batchmate just posted about their trip to Bali. Your cousin just bought a new car. Someone from your LinkedIn network just announced they moved into a 3 BHK in a premium society. Your colleague's wife has a handbag that costs more than your monthly rent. You are now comparing your entire life, including your financial situation, to a highlight reel assembled from hundreds of people's best moments. Psychologists call this relative deprivation. It's the feeling of lacking something not because you objectively don't have enough, but because someone in your reference group has more. And relative deprivation is painful. It affects your self-esteem, your mood, and crucially, your spending decisions. Because when you feel behind, you spend to catch up. You buy the thing that signals success. You take the trip you can't quite afford. You upgrade because not upgrading feels like failure. And so you spend, and the account drains, and the cycle repeats. 50,000 didn't feel like enough partly because someone on your screen made you feel like it shouldn't be. Force number 4. The cost of being an adult in India has genuinely exploded. And let's be real, some of this isn't just psychology. Some of it is just cold, hard arithmetic. If you're between 25 and 35 in an Indian metro city right now, you are facing a cost structure that your parents simply did not face at your age. Rent in Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad or Pune for a decent 1 BHK in a safe area, you're looking at 15,000 to 30,000 rupees a month minimum. That's 30 to 60% of a 50,000 rupee salary, gone just on rent. Add to that EMIs, because the thing about modern India is that everything is available on EMI now. Your phone is on EMI, maybe your laptop, some people are even buying clothes on EMI. And while EMIs feel manageable in the moment, 2,000 rupees here, 3,000 rupees there, they stack. 5 small EMIs become 12,000 rupees a month in locked commitments before you've bought a single vegetable. Then there's the expectation economy, family obligations, parents' health costs, wedding savings, emergency funds, skill development courses, gym memberships, streaming subscriptions. Not 1, but 4 because each one has something different. The modern adult life in India is genuinely more expensive than it was a generation ago, and wages, especially for middle-level salaried employees, have not kept pace with this new cost architecture. So no, it's not just in your head. The math is harder now. So we've named the 4 forces: inflation, lifestyle inflation, social comparison, and the rising cost of modern adult life. But here's the deeper insight, the thing that ties all of this together. The problem isn't that 50,000 rupees is too little. The problem is that most people with 50,000 rupees have never decided what that money is for. Think about that for a second. Most people have a relationship with money that looks like this. Salary comes in, expenses go out, and whatever's left, if anything, gets saved. Money is reactive. It flows towards whatever demands it. The EMI notification, the Swiggy craving, the sale on Amazon, the friend's birthday plan, the family obligation.
There is no architecture, no intention. Money flows like water, always towards the lowest point. And here's what psychology tells us about this. When we have no pre-decided plan for money, we are entirely vulnerable to impulse. And impulse spending is almost always driven by emotion, stress, boredom, the desire to feel status, the desire to fit in. So without a plan, your salary isn't funding your life goals. It's funding your emotional reactions to a stressful world. The people who feel like their 50,000 rupees is not enough are almost always running a reactive financial life. And the people who feel financially calm, who somehow seem to be managing, are almost always running an intentional one. The salary might be the same, the feeling is completely different. Here's another psychological truth that hits hard. We massively overestimate how happy future purchases will make us, and we massively underestimate how much we'll adapt to them. Every upgrade felt before you made it like it would genuinely improve your life. And every time, within weeks or months, it became invisible, normal, expected. But the money you spent on that upgrade, that's gone, permanently. It can't compound. It can't grow. It can't one day give you the freedom to not work if you don't want to. We're trading future freedom for present normalcy. And we don't even enjoy the normalcy after a while. So what do you actually do with this? Let me give you 3 shifts, not tips, not hacks, but actual mental shifts that change how this works. Mental shift 1. Pay yourself before you pay anyone else. The moment your salary lands, before you do anything else, move a fixed amount to a separate account or investment. Not what's left after spending. The first move. This is the single most powerful structural change you can make to your financial life. When you save first, your brain adjusts your lifestyle to whatever remains. When you spend first, your brain expands to fill the entire salary and finds nothing left to save. It's the same income. The order of operations changes everything. Start with whatever you can, even 3,000 or 5,000 rupees a month. The habit matters more than the amount right now. Mental shift 2. Define what enough actually means for you. Most people are running toward a number, more salary, more money, without ever defining what the destination looks like. Here's a question worth sitting with. What would a genuinely good life actually cost you? Not an Instagram life, not a keeping up with everyone life. Your life. With the things that actually matter to you. When you get specific, actual numbers for rent, food, travel, savings, fun, you often find that your real requirements are less overwhelming than the vague anxiety you carry. The vague anxiety comes from never looking directly at the numbers. Looking at them takes power away from the fear. Mental shift 3. Upgrade slowly and selectively. Not every salary hike should translate into a lifestyle upgrade. When your income rises, try to let your savings rate rise proportionally before your lifestyle does. If you got a 10,000 rupee hike, challenge yourself. Can 6,000 of that go to savings or investments and 4,000 improve your life, instead of 10,000 going straight into a bigger lifestyle? This is how the gap between earning and spending, which is really the gap between where you are and where you want to be, slowly widens in your favor instead of narrowing against you. And about the comparison trap, here's the most liberating thing I can tell you. The person's Bali trip you're admiring might be carrying 2 lakh rupees of credit card debt. The cousin with the new car might have an EMI that quietly stresses them every month. The colleague with the handbag might have 0 savings. Appearances are not balance sheets. The quietest financial lives are often the most solid, and the loudest ones are often the most fragile. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. 50,000 rupees is not the problem. The relationship you have with 50,000 rupees, the unconsciousness, the reactivity, the comparison, the upgrading without intention, that's the problem. Because here's what's mathematically true.
If someone earns 50,000 rupees a month from age 25 and they invest just 8,000 of it every month consistently in instruments that return 12% annually, a reasonable long-term expectation for diversified equity in India, by the age of 50, they would have built a corpus of over 3.5 crore rupees. 8,000 rupees a month for 25 years. 3.5 crore rupees. That's not a fantasy. That's just compounding, doing what it does, quietly and relentlessly, while everyone else is waiting for a bigger salary to finally start. The salary was never the enemy. The waiting was. So the question isn't, when will I earn enough to start? The question is, what am I doing with what I already have? Because the person who masters that question at 50,000 rupees will master it at 1 lakh rupees and 5 lakh rupees too. And the person who doesn't master it at 50,000 rupees will still feel broke at 1.5 lakh rupees, wondering where the money goes. The game of money is really not about money. It's about attention, intention, and the quiet, unglamorous decision to stop letting life happen to your wallet and start making your wallet happen to your life. Think about that.